Hey guys, this is the DL1080 mini FPV racer kit from DL and it comes with a little tiny whip style brush drone, and you get your controller and you get an FPV monitor at 5.8 gigahertz. Now if you're a new pilot, don't have any gear, no drones, no controller, no goggles or monitor, you have absolutely nothing at all, and you want to try out FPV, this is not a bad way to go. It's a little over $100 for this set. If you're someone that's an experienced pilot, you already have a controller or goggles or whatever, this is obviously not going to be for you. So I'll have another video later. You can watch that one. This one is going to be for those guys that have absolutely nothing. This is going to be a really good starter set for you to get you guys started, and includes a couple of batteries and a charger as well. Just a quick overview of what you get. You get the drone itself here. It's got a 5.8 gigahertz FPV system in here, 7x20 brushed motors, 41 millimeter props. It's a 75 millimeter tiny whip style brush drone. The flight controller is SP Racing F3 based flight controller. So it does have Betaflight on there, so you can tune your PIDs, and you can connect up to your computer if you want to do the tuning. Although it flies fine out of the box, you don't really need to do that. And yeah, the nice thing about this is, if later on you want to get a more advanced controller or goggles or whatever, this is 5.8 gigahertz. You can do that. You do have to swap the receiver on here, because the receiver is built in, or not actually built in, so it's actually connected to the flight controller. You could swap that up for a Spectrum, FlySky, or FreeSky receiver, and then hooked it up to a larger, more hobby-grade transmitter if you want to. The receiver that's in here is like a proprietary one that only works with this particular controller, so it'll get you started, but if you want to move up to something bigger later, you can definitely do that with this kit. Okay, so to get this to fly, it's pretty easy. You just have to plug in your battery first and power up the drone. And you get some flashing lights. You want to turn on your transmitter by pressing the power button. Hear a couple beeps, and the red light means that you have power. Now you have to change your modes with either this switch here or this switch here. And it's going to be either red, yellow, or green. And so it's a combination of these two switches that you're going to be able to switch to your different modes. So you have yellow, red, and green. So it's a little confusing. It's basically these two buttons here. You have green, yellow, and red. I believe the red is acro mode, and then yellow is horizon mode, and then green is going to be stabilized mode, I believe. It could be reversed. I think maybe red might be stabilized. You could read the manual. The manual's pretty good. I actually don't remember exactly, but that's the three modes. And then to actually go and fly, you have to arm it, which is going to be this button right here, and that'll start spinning the props. And then to disarm, you press the button again. And then obviously, you want to go and fly, you just, this is throttle, yaw, and then you have elevator, pitch, and roll. Now to look at the FPV heat that's coming out of the camera here, I'm just going to use the monitor. I just charge up by USB here. It has an internal battery, and it does last a pretty long time. The on-off switch is in the back here. Turn that on, and then you get a signal. Now you have to use the button on top here to change your bands and channels, and there are instructions in the manual that explain how to do that. Although it was somewhat difficult to figure out what channel and band you're on, because you don't really see any lights anywhere. It's actually on the inside. The little video transmitter is on the inside here, and if you want to see the lights on the video transmitter, you have to actually take these two screws off and then take the canopy off and look at it. So changing channels might be a little bit more difficult for the first time, but I think once you figure out the band that you're on, you should be able to change your channels and bands a little bit later. Should be simpler. And then on the monitor, to change your channels is going to be the top button here or this button here. So this will change your channel up or down. And then you have a menu button here that will change your brightness, contrast, and other settings on the monitor. Now the monitor is fairly bright. You can see outdoors, but you probably want to get some sort of a sunshade to protect the screen from the sunlight. Although it could be brighter, and indoors is totally fine. You can see here, the camera can pick it up. It's plenty bright enough. yeah, overall, so I think this is a pretty good starter kit for someone who wants to try out FPV. You can fly this indoors and outdoors. It's pretty safe. It's not going to cause a lot of damage if you crash it, and it's just fairly crash resistant too. It's got a nice plastic frame. It's going to be pretty durable. It doesn't cost a whole lot of money, but if you want to experience FPV and get a sense of what it's like and see if you want to maybe move up to something bigger, this is a pretty good kit to do that. And if you want to swap out the receiver, you can then get a bigger transmitter like a FlySky or a Taranis. You could do that as well and continue to use this monitor. And then of course later on, if you want to get goggles like Fat Shark, you can definitely still do that, and it'll still tune into the video transmitter that's on board here. So it's definitely there for expansion if you need to. Anyway guys, I'll go show you some flight demo footage. If you have any questions, let me know, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.